It's warmer here than it is in Alaska.
I would hope so.
Me too. I'm Seth. This is Jordan.
Hey.
And we're two sexual deviants ready to take you on a ride.
To Pound Town.
No, pop culture this time.
Pop culture, okay.
Pop culture only. No sex today. Unless later.
I was trying to think of something clever, like no sex, just blowjobs.
That's the same thing. It's just another hole.
Fair enough.
What is it with holes and sex, you know?
I mean...
It's all it is just a bunch of hole filling. It's like, you know, you have to be a certified fucking construction worker just to... Okay, let's get to it. So, seal!
Also, the kittens in the background might make some noise.
Yeah, we got kittens.
Yeah.
I named mine Cream Pie.
No, we didn't.
No, it's Eddie. My grandma tried to name it Cream Pie. I said, Grandma, that's a can of worms. She laughed and laughed. She didn't understand why.
So now we're going to talk about...
Seal!
Seal
2, to be exact, which, you know, what were you going to say?
So just a few things about the album. It's his second studio album, released May 23rd, 1994. So it's coming up on the 18th anniversary in just a couple of weeks.
It's going to be older.
The actual title is just Seal, but it is referred to as Seal 2 to avoid confusion with his debut album that was also called Seal.
Seal 2. The Empire Strikes Back.
The album's genre is defined as progressive / neo soul.
Oh, I could have went with funk. That's kind of neo soul, new soul.
Yep.
Huh.
The image on the cover has become Seal's trademark and even appears on the cover of his greatest hits compilation.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks like a superhero.
Guest musicians on this album include Jeff Beck on guitar. From the Jeff Beck Group. Pino Palladino on bass, who has also played with John Mayer and The Who. Trevor Horn on keyboards and percussion, who has played with The Buggles and Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Andrew Newmark on drums and percussion, who was a founding member of Sly and the Family Stone and has also played with John Lennon and Roxy Music.
Damn.
Charlie Drayton on drums and bass, who has played with The Cult, the B-52s, and the Rolling Stones. Gavin Wright on violin and cello, who has played with Elton John, Bush, Oasis, and Tina Turner. Luis Jordan on percussion, who has played with Neil Young, Barry Manilow, and Eric Clapton. And finally, Philip Spaulding on bass, who has also played with Mick Jagger and Elton John. So he got some ridiculous musicians.
That's an all-star group.
Yeah.
They should have all got jerseys made.
Some ridiculous musicians to help him make this album.
B-52s? Seriously?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that in years. Like, nobody's mentioned the B-52s to me.
That's not anyone's go-to.
They're good, though.
Like
they're solid.
Also, the song Kiss from a Rose was featured in the film Batman Forever in 1995. Being on that soundtrack helped it become a #1 song in America and Australia in 1995, a year after it had been released.
It has like 11 million views. 11 million views.
For a song from 1994.
That blew my mind. It was the most played song on the album.
Yep.
Every other one was like 525K. 11 million. What a jump.
It was also, Kiss from a Rose was also written in 1987, but was not recorded until 1993 for this album because Seal felt embarrassed by it.
Really?
Yeah, he said it was not one of his best works because he writes his own songs. He said, this is not one of my better works, and he was embarrassed by it, but Trevor Horn also produced the album, and he said, that is a hit.
Leave it to Trevor Horn, dude. No.
Which, if you've looked at Trevor Horn's other producer credits, you will understand he has a ridiculous sense of what can become a hit.
Oh.
He's produced some of the biggest hits in rock, pop, and rap from like the 80s until even just a few years ago. He's just producing shit.
See, folks, I was just being an idiot. I didn't know he actually mattered. But he apparently has some accolades here besides Seal. So I have some questions for you about the album. Just kind of get your take on some things here. Kind of spice things up a little bit. Add a little bit of flavor to the show.
Okay.
So my first question to you is going to be...
Oh, yeah. The question... So I suggested Seth listen to this album. So that's why. Okay.
And then I went there and I processed it, downloaded it into my memory bank.
So I have already heard this album.
Yeah.
I remember buying the CD at a yard sale for $1 in like 2002 and not knowing what it was.
Really?
Bought it just because of the album cover.
How old were you in 2002?
I was turning 10.
Ooh, these are some pretty racy concepts for a 10-year-old. But,
so anyway, the question.
Yeah. Do you think, after listening to this album at 10 years old and so on, that this was supposed to be Seal's masterpiece? Like his defining album. You know, everybody has that one album that they're really proud of. Do you feel this was it for him? It feels like it.
Do I feel like he set out to make it like that, or did it just end up like that?
Set out to make it like that.
Okay, because I don't think he set out to make it like that, because I think most musicians will always try, in their mind, they will always try, what are you doing?
I thought somebody was here.
In their mind, they will always try to make each album better. But I feel like this one just became his defining album because of Kiss from a Rose.
I was about to say, I have a question about Kiss for a Rose, too. But we'll get to that. That's the fourth question. What do you think... What do you think? Now, what do you like about this album the most? What sticks out to you?
I think a lot of it is nostalgia, just from where I heard it when I was like 10, and that was like the first time I'd ever heard anything like this. And so
you were like, whoa.
So I was like, oh man, and just through the years it would always stick with me because it's like a perfect blend. Kind of like what you said, it's got funk in it, it's got pop in it, it's got rock in it, it's got like Eastern influence in it. Like there's so much going on. Plus his voice. I always liked his voice too. But yeah, I've listened to his other albums, but this one is definitely my favorite, and I think that is just like the nostalgia part of it.
Yeah, it's like I remember when I was 10 at a yard sale. Dude, that's a pretty cool find at a yard sale, though. I mean, that's...
For $1. I'll never forget it, because I bought that.
Yeah.
In Your Honor by the Foo Fighters.
Nice.
And the Space Jam soundtrack. And they were all $1.
Everybody come on, it's time to Space Jam.
And I bought all three of those at the same yard sale for $1 a night. Like I said, I knew the Space Jam soundtrack and I knew the Foo Fighters, but I bought the Seal album. One, because it was the only other CD they had there. And two, because I thought the album cover looked awesome.
I can see it. I mean, dude, he looks like a fucking superhero. Some Marvel stuff going on there. For the third question here, do you remember when you first were turned on to Seal? I think you already answered that at the yard sale there. So we'll just mark that one off. My final question before we get into the review, do you think Kiss from a Rose is overrated?
So, I don't think it's overrated. I think it's perfectly rated.
Oh, okay.
It's not underrated and it's not overrated. I think it's a really good song, and I think it gets the recognition. The amount of recognition it gets is deserved. Oh. But it's not over the top.
Okay.
It's also in a scene in Community, which has also helped bring that song's popularity back.
I can see it.
It is a scene in Community. I think it's in season 2 or 3. But it's Jeff who runs into the dean at the mall, and Annie is supposed to be moving. Everyone's helping Annie move, but Jeff is at the mall because he told everybody else that he was sick. So the dean blackmails him to hang out with him, saying, I could just tell him you were at the mall instead of being sick. And so they hang out, and they end up going to a karaoke booth, and they sing Kiss from a Rose.
Nice. Nice. You have to watch that. Community is a great show.
I love it.
So, first of all, I had no idea Seal was sick. I had no idea.
Used to be.
I had no idea he had the funk. Oh
my God.
Just about every song has a funk element to it. I mean, somebody really needs to get this guy to a doctor, but that's honestly my favorite part of the album as a whole, so I don't know if we should cure him or not. The instrumental work and tone as a whole hits really hard due to his powerful vocal style. He's like if U2 had soul, and could play more than one chord.
Yeah.
And he honestly, some of the stuff reminds me of like if Genesis and U2 had a baby.
I can see that.
It reminds me of like Genesis a lot. I know Prayer for the Dying can make you feel inspired and leave you feeling positive emotion, but then you have other songs that just bum you out. Like introspective stuff. I'm trying to think of one. It's not Bring It On, because Bring It On's my favorite track on the album. Okay. Yeah, it is. It opens, and that's the one that kind of reminds me of Genesis the most.
Yeah, it's a great opening track.
Bring it on! And then he has the reprise, which I thought was kind of meh. But let me find it. It's not Prayer for the Dying. Prayer for the Dying is very hopeful, but it doesn't sound like it'll be.
Is it Dreaming in Metaphors?
There we go. Yeah. Dreaming in Metaphors tripped me out too, because that is literally how we dream as people. We dream in metaphors. I have an entire book about it. We'll get into that later. No, I just was really surprised. It's the only thing, because I went through my entire life up until this point thinking Seal sucked. I was like, yeah, I'm not into this bullshit.
Well, you thought of course, I got introduced to him blind, not knowing who he was or anything, and just heard it.
The best way to be introduced to music.
But I feel like most people think that he is kind of like what Rod Stewart does now. He just does like the American standard, American songbook, whatever.
Yeah.
And he just does like pop classical music.
He's the musician. He's what a musician is to a comedian who performs in Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I feel like a lot of people think of Seal that way, that he just, without hearing him, they automatically assume that he does like the kind of stuff that Tony Bennett, that's his name. They automatically assume that he does stuff like Tony Bennett.
Makes sense. I thought that way. I thought he was seriously. I thought he was like big in the '80s, so they kept bringing him out to like popular stuff to get people from the '80s to come.
Yeah, you would see him performing on like Carnival cruises,
stuff like exactly.
Like that's what you picture when you think of Seal without hearing his music.
Seriously, I thought, and this is just a direct quote. I thought it was bunch of sappy love songs and pretentious vocal work. But Seal can actually get very introspective and inspirational, which is important for me and an artist. If you can get introspective and take lessons you've learned and teach lessons to other people through art, I find that very important.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was pretty badass listening to this guy. I mean, when you listen to the album all the way through, it paints a picture of who Seal is and what Seal's about. He's a thinker. He's a lover. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Okay? He doesn't understand the world.
Okay.
He doesn't understand why it's so hard for other people to speak about their emotions. But you are also made very aware that he never lets go of hope. Okay? He never gives up. Seal persists, and persists. He's persistent Seal. Sure, he's frustrated, but he's not going to give up. He's never going to give up. He's heartbroken. In a way, Seal's kind of like Rocky Balboa. Seal may be the Rocky Balboa of music.
I've never heard that comparison.
I feel like the best part about it is he's not Italian.
Okay.
But yeah, with all of that being said, I'm just very interested and happy to actually been turned on to Seal after being such a fucking dick about it. See, that's what I like about this show. It's some of the stuff that I may not personally get into. I'll actually end up getting into. I'm like, oh, this doesn't suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Nearly as bad as I thought it did.
Just a few weeks ago, you gave a bluegrass album a 10 out of 10.
It's the truth. And without further ado, here are the ratings. Personal opinions by me. Calm down.
Okay.
I don't want to upset anybody. Seal could be like the greatest thing in the world to somebody. He could be you could walk into their house and it could be like just pictures everywhere. Fucking Seal.
Every band and artist, musician that we've covered so far is somebody's favorite musician.
I know, isn't that crazy to think about?
Crazy to think about.
It is. It's fucking wild. But the first track, Bring It On, 10 out of 10. Flawless opening track. Very inspirational. It's going to get your attention, make you realize very quickly, Seal's not just some generic lovey-dovey soft rock prodigy.
Nope.
Dude has layers to his art. And the opening track shows it all very perfectly. He's an onion. He's an onion of music.
Layers.
Just layers of music. You got the catchy chorus, the kick-ass funk-esque bass lines, and his vocals are flawless.
Yeah.
He's like an angel. Seal, the angel. The last part is a given, though. He's a fucking seal, dude. Honestly, the way it opens with him belting out, "Bring it on!" You know what I mean? You got the reverb. The music dropping in shortly after, it feels like he's taking a lot of influence from Genesis once again. Genesis comes up a lot in here. But after listening to this album, I can say with confidence there is no way Seal was trying to make an album for people to screw to.
No.
No way. No way.
Very odd time signatures to try and... I can't get the rhythm.
Prayer for the Dying. 6 out of 10. I like the track. It's an easy listen with a great message. However, and you're going to hear this a lot throughout the review, because I don't really feel like this song was placed properly.
Okay.
It brings the mood down when it was just established with the opening track, like Bring It On.
Fair enough.
Just hits you right in the fucking face and you're like, oh! And then it's definitely a great tune. It would have been... it would have more than likely got an 8 or a 9, but it was just not mixed right for me. I just didn't feel it right. Of course, Seal kills it with his vocal performance. As you all know by now, I'm a sucker for some tickling of the ivories.
Okay, piano.
Which I felt was a great touch to this jam. The piano break actually saved the song, in my opinion.
Okay.
Without that piano, I just don't... It breathes some life back into the song and also helps transition the tempos throughout the song actually fit and work. Makes them fit. Without that piano, it would have just sounded random.
Fair enough.
But the piano's saving it back there. It's like, don't worry, I'm your goalie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can count on me. And, that's why I harp on the piano so much. Honestly, it saved many a song, including this one. I just want to say, with that being said, you can literally feel 1994 with this album. Yeah. I closed my eyes while listening, and I felt like a teal-striped styrofoam cup.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah.
Dreaming in Metaphors, we're giving that a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
First of all, what a badass title.
It is
fucking cool as hell. I really enjoyed the guitar melodies and harmonies on this song. It's pretty neat how that's the instrument that opens up the track for me. And all the other instruments just kind of build around that guitar part. Hey.
Here comes the cat.
Hey, come here, buddy. You want to get on my lap? Lap it up? No? Okay.
You said no thanks.
You're cool. Alright then. So, special appearance by Billy Buddy Bobby Jr., also known as Triple BJ. We call him Junior, though, most of the time. He's fat, though. Get out of the way, bud. It's okay. I love you. I love you, buddy. Okay. So, there's that tail in the background. I don't get it, man. But, let me move him. I'm sorry, bud.
Dreaming in metaphors.
Dreaming in metaphors. Once again, just wanted to say that I did really enjoy the guitar melodies in the song. Okay. Mostly due to the fact that, well, once again, this is the only track that I've heard on the album so far where they built around a guitar part.
Yeah.
Not that I really care too much about guitar. I'm not one of those guys, if it ain't got guitar in it, it ain't music. I don't care about that. I'm just saying it's cool to see that because most of the time guitars are way overutilized, in my opinion, for people like this.
For this style of music.
Exactly. Because they'll come in with usually they'll come in with like a, like an arena rock.
Yeah.
Like, if I could play it for you right now, I would, but I don't have a guitar. Let's see. Some bass, drums, piano, and synth. It's all building around the sick-ass guitar riff in the beginning, which isn't normally how Seal does business. Very interesting tune. Badass title. People really do dream in metaphors, which is fucking insane. I didn't really think about that. I have an entire book about it. Like I said earlier, it's laying around somewhere. It's a dream dictionary, and it's supposed to help you understand what those metaphors mean. Hats off to Seal for bringing psychology into his work and painting an amazing picture. The soul he brings near the end really helps the track shine. Loving it, and I'll be coming back to this track in my day-to-day life. And another side note, Seal could not tour in Canada.
Okay.
Because he would get clubbed to death. A lot of seal beating in Canada.
Okay.
Don't cry. Excuse me. 4 out of 10.
This one is my least favorite song on the album.
I think it may be mine too. I'm not sure. I will have to keep going. But I'm pretty sure it is. I like it, but it's another track that kind of feels out of place to me. It brings the mood down and it takes too long to build up. It's like you're on a roller coaster and you're going up, 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 and you think you should be fucking going down by now, but you're still going up, 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 and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the longest one too. It's like 6.5 minutes or something. It
is 6 minutes. I harp on that because it felt way too drawn out. Once again, I don't hate it, but there's just something about it that feels completely out of place. He could have cut it at verse 2. And it may have actually saved the song for me if he did. Because it's not a bad track. Once again, it's not a bad song. It's just, let it play all the way through if I had no other choice. That's what I said. Okay. Like if I was driving down the interstate, came on Spotify, I couldn't hit skip. Because I can't, I'm ADD. I have to pay fucking attention to the road or I'm hitting somebody. And not on purpose. But yeah, Don't Cry, 4 out of 10. Probably my least favorite song on the album.
If it came on Pandora and you were out of skips, you wouldn't hate it.
Exactly. But I wouldn't give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it a thumbs up. More than likely, thumbs down.
Ooh.
But controversy.
But not enough to switch apps.
That is a good point. Yeah. Yeah, not enough to turn on the radio.
So it's not right here. It's like right here.
Anything but the radio.
I like radio.
I miss when radio was good. That's what I have to say about that.
I miss when 102.7 didn't play commercials.
Me too.
That's what I miss.
God, yeah.
That is a local station that we have that came out, and their whole thing was that for like the first 5 months, they played no commercials. It was just music, and it was rock, pop, and blues hits from the 70s and 80s. And it was just straight music.
And that was one of the things they brag about. They'd be like, we don't have commercials.
And
it was a huge selling point.
And now, when was that? God, I was in high school.
Yeah, I was still young and hot. That was a while back.
It's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
Needless to say, they have fucking commercials now.
10 years ago, man. Fucking, I remember my low-rise jeans with my whale tail. God, I was getting
That was still out of date, man. That was like 2005.
I was getting all the tang, bro.
Was that crickets that I just heard?
yeah.
Like, for real, somewhere outside?
Doesn't get any better than that. Okay. So, one thing I can say about Seal, he's an amazing artist, and when you hear him, it's completely obvious he didn't have to sell his soul to the devil to do so.
No.
So much soul.
And if you listen to him now, he still sounds amazing. Like, if you see, like, recent live videos, like, he still sounds exactly the same.
Ooh.
Fast Changes is my favorite. I know that's the next one.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
The woodwind instruments and overall groove of the song. Fucking woodwinds.
Yeah.
You can't get enough of the woodwinds. Bring them back. They're a good family. They deserve work. I like how in the verses the guitar chords are strummed and rung out. I miss that. I wish more people would do it.
That is a cool little thing.
Always a good choice of instrumental work in my opinion, but really, it's the damn woodwind instrument. Let's just keep on going with that.
It's the only song that has them.
It is.
Yeah.
It bummed me out. It's such an underutilized instrument as a whole. This is another song that instrumentally builds throughout its runtime. Seal is the master of that, apparently.
He is. He's. So I hear a lot of people say, you know, like the Foo Fighters do that. They build their songs gradually, and by the end, it's like a full jam, whatever.
Yeah.
Seal did that just in a different genre. He is the Foo Fighters of, like, progressive soul.
You can feel it. You can feel it. And without further ado,
the hit.
Kiss from a Rose. 7 out of 10. It's a pretty good song. I'm gonna be honest though. That's why I asked you the question in the beginning.
Okay.
It's way overhyped. It had 11 million views on YouTube, which is cool and all.
I think it.
But it's not even the best song on the album.
No, it's not. And I think it's because it was used in the Batman movie.
You'd have to be right. But fucking Bring It On is better than this one. It also feels way more drawn out. His power, his pleasure, his pain. I can only hear that so many times, man.
My power,
my pleasure, my pain. Yeah, but no matter how full of soul it is, I'm not a fan of how he repeated the chorus a million times at the end. I get the chorus is supposed to be the most catchy and highlighted part of the song, but it starts to lose its moxie after the millionth time. Still, I understand why it's a classic. Most people have better attention spans than I do, so they could probably hang out a little bit longer.
Well, I'm pretty sure it had like a single edit too, whenever it was released. So instead of like, I think the actual song is like close to 5 minutes. I think like the single edit is only like 4.
Power, my pleasure, my pain. Anyway, yeah, 7 out of 10. People asking why. I just wanted to say it like that.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised. Okay.
Yeah, just the line, why do people get complacent with the things they do? Isn't that the fucking truth?
So simple, but so profound. At the
Look
same time.
around. In a world where people are supposed to prosper and grow, I know people that have been at the same shithole for 20 plus years and are completely okay with that.
Yeah, not moving up in the shithole. Just still in that entry-level position.
Personally, it's pathetic and sad to me, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I just don't understand how you can't try new things and spice up your life a little. You know?
Fair.
Complacency is annoying. That line is so important for life. Something everyone should ponder. You know? Especially if you're like 30 in a basement. I mean, I'm no better. I've gotten complacent in my life before. I don't get out enough. I'm not experiencing new things. Or performing comedy. No memories are being made or anything, but this song in particular, that line reminded me of that.
Okay.
Made me want to, go out and do more things.
Did this album make you get a little introspective?
Yeah. Kind of made me sit back and look at ways I can change it.
Oh.
Thank you, Daddy Seal. What?
Okay. Daddy Seal.
Yeah. Newborn Friend. 8 out of 10.
This is my second favorite song on the album.
I really enjoy the lyrics. He kind of paints a picture of his attitude towards life. He takes his time and smells the roses. He really doesn't get in a hurry for anything. No pun intended. Plus, the music is pretty upbeat for the tone of the song being an existential crisis. He's going through it.
Yeah, it is the most upbeat song on the album.
It brings back the funk element that's present throughout the whole album, which I absolutely love. The chorus is catchy as hell. It'll be stuck in your head before you realize it, and then there's a ton of replay value here. He sings loud, my friends.
I also love the flanger effect on the guitar in the beginning. Dude, it's so good.
You can feel it. 5 out of 10 for If I Could.
Okay.
I'm starting to think Seal might be a little bipolar. Because this song is a total mood killer. I dig it. It's a good song. But a reoccurring thing I've noticed throughout the... See? Told you.
The sequencing.
Yeah, like if somebody would have mixed this better, the song may have fit better for me. Some of the songs weren't really placed as well as they could have been. The one example... This one is a great example of that. Once again, a great tune, very well written and performed. Yeah, it just feels like its GPS took it to the wrong location. Kind of like a DoorDash driver or something.
Okay.
God almighty. So you can give those people as many directions as possible, and they're still in your neighbor's house.
I deliver DoorDash.
I know you do.
I don't have any problems.
Well.
And I don't see how other DoorDash drivers have problems either. Because
you're calling them out.
DoorDash, for the drivers, they have updated the driver app.
Oh, okay.
They have updated maps. And used to, it would just be like Google Maps. And it would just say, oh, here's the house. And there would not be a house there. Now, it literally pinpoints which house. It shows you like a map, and it has boxes on it. Each box is a house, and it will tell you, and you can see like, oh, there's a 4-way stop up here. It's on the right before the 4-way stop. It's the second house before you get to the 4-way stop, and it'll have it pinned, and it'll have the address written in the box. And it's like, dude, I don't see how other DoorDash drivers have so many issues. The only issue becomes if you're delivering to trailer parks or apartment buildings, because it will take you to the complex, but then I don't know who gets drunk and decides to number these things, but you'll pull into a fucking trailer park and you'll see house number 45 to your left, 77 to your right, and each are just like random numbers.
It doesn't have to be in order. Like a numerical.
Anyway. Oh.
What's up, dude?
He wants us to get on with Seal.
No, yeah. So, I'm Alive. That's a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Seeing as this is the closing track, technically, I find it to be the perfect choice for the closing.
Okay.
Once again, a very hopeful track. Brings back the Rocky Balboa vibes here. He's not going to stop and he's not going to give up. The sun is shining its gold down on him. He's alive, damn it.
Okay.
And then the funk comes in and it slaps you over the head. That's the way the funk's supposed to do. Before you know it, you're infected You have to go spread the funk to other people. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you can do. It's the only disease you can get that you can spread to other people, and they're okay with it.
The funk.
I'm sorry, I just gave you the funk, ma'am. But anyway, I want to look at somebody after intercourse one time and say that. I just want to be like, ma'am, I've given you the funk. But, yeah, so that bass line that comes in at the middle and plays through the entirety, flawless.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Seal. He's good. So then we have Bring It On, Reprise. It's a 1 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
Could have just been part of the... It could have just been... It could have just been part of the original song. It's like a badge or something that would bring the original song full circle.
That is the first song that we have rated a 1 on this channel.
It's just so senseless.
You don't
me.
like it?
I don't. I think it just feels like it was pointlessly thrown in. I get what they were going for. You know, the whole album wraps back around, whoa. But it just didn't work for me. Would have been fine if they just closed with I'm Alive.
Okay.
This reminds me of the kid who put way too much time into his art project, so much so that he didn't realize when he had actually finished it and just kept adding to it.
Okay.
Nothing really redeeming about it for me.
I like it.
You're like, I like it. You're like, dude, calm
I
down.
think it's alright.
Relax. I got a little too brutal. I may have been a little too brutal on Bring It On Reprise, but I had to.
Okay.
The devil was
you,
inside me.
Did you add up the average for it?
That's funny you say that. Rating. I'm not a big math guy. How do we figure this again?
Okay. So hold on.
He said, hold on.
So the way that I do it, let's see. So what did you? Let me get down here. Yeah. So what did you rate them all again?
Bring It On is a 10.
Okay.
Prayer for the Dying is a 6.
Okay.
Dreaming in Metaphors is a 9.
Okay.
Don't Cry is a 4.
Okay.
Fast Changes, that's a 10.
Okay.
Kiss from a Rose is a 7.
Okay.
People Asking Why, that's a 10.
Okay.
Newborn Friend, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
He's talking about his baby. If I Could, 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm Alive, 10 out of 10.
And then Bring It On Reprise is a 1.
1 out of 10.
Alright, so
Bring it on.
what you do is you add all these together.
Yeah.
So 16 plus 9, 25 plus 4, 29 plus 10, 39 plus 7, 46 plus 10, 56 plus 8, 64 plus 5, 69 plus 10, 79, 80. So it's an 8. Or no, sorry. Now you take 80 and divide it by 11 because that's how many songs there are.
Oh. It's a 7.27.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad. 7.27. Go check it out. See if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You may like it. Give it a 10 out of 10. And then you can cuss me out in the comments, give me the finger, whatever you want to do. If you agree, you can agree with me and stroke my massive ego. Huge.
Either way, it's a win-win.
It is. We need your attention. Give us your attention. Please.
Okay, so now you have to tell me an album to listen to.
I do.
So what album are you suggesting?
You get the Melvins.
Okay. I don't know what's happening with the cats over
Good
there.
Lord. Let's see. Which Melvins album do I want to give you? Because there are a lot of good ones, but I want one in particular. I'm having a hard time remembering the entire name.
Okay.
God, kids. Senile Animal. That's the most important one for me.
Senile Animal.
Yeah, it's the best one they have, in my opinion.
All right, well.
It's right up there with Houdini.
Okay. Well, join us next time. Oh, your cat's getting out.
Yeah, they do that. They'll be fun.
Well, we will be discussing the Melvins, and we'll see you guys next time.